let's stay on this and move forward because the report came out with Russell Wilson or about Russell Wilson and the things that led up to his departure from Seattle and how this has been probably 4 or 5 years in the making. I mean, in the report, which I actually read like all of it extensively, they were saying that he was upset for the fact that he felt Pete Carroll cost him an MVP. He felt that, and a lot of people felt that some of the play calling in the second Super Bowl cost the Seahawks back-to-back Super Bowl wins. While he was on the roster, they were scouting and trying to get Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And it was just the both sides just didn't see eye to eye as far as Russell Wilson's camp and Pete Carroll's camp. You know that saying, the saying that we always hear, if you pull out a gun, you better be ready to use it. A lot of people say that, like people with guns. Don't pull out a gun if you're not going to use it. That's what people say. The same can be said about scouting other quarterbacks while you have a top-tier quarterback. When you have a top-tier quarterback, if you're going to scout another quarterback, you better get them. Because if it gets back to the current quarterback, I promise you it's not going to go well. One of the things that athletes have that are bigger than a lot of people, and that is egos. Every athlete, whether Steph Curry has an ego, the quote-unquote babyface assassin has an ego. Russell Wilson, ego. Some egos are bigger than others. Some people, you can see their egos more than others. Like, you can see Aaron Rodgers' ego. Like, it's Aaron Rodgers. Hell, you see Aaron Rodgers' ego more than you probably see Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes has an ego. Because they know who they are. Like, I'm Patrick Mahomes. Hell, Kevin Durant. I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. That's ego talking. That's also confidence. Because he also knows I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Russell, I've stood on you can go back and look at episodes. You can ask people that I talk to. I have stood on this Russell Wilson bandwagon for the longest. I have been on paper saying that Russell Wilson is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So if you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league and you're over here looking for another quarterback, you better get that quarterback. Because if it gets back to Russell Wilson, trust and believe things aren't going to work out, especially when you guys aren't in the you're not the best of friends. You guys aren't in the best of positions, especially after the second Super Bowl. Now, I will also attest that if I was Russell Wilson, I would have changed the call, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, he had the cachet to change the call. Just change the damn call, brother. Just give the ball to Marshawn Lynch. It's all right, though. It's okay. It's all right. Or at least run the ball. It's okay. The only thing that report proved to me is that this breakup was years in the making. And this breakup could have happened a lot sooner than it did. And it also proves to me, I'm not going to say proves, but it also yet another situation where things don't end as beautifully as it started for another Pete Carroll team. This is Pete Carroll's MO. Pete Carroll comes to an organization, has roaring success to start, but towards the end, it always ends poorly. Now, I'm not saying this is the end for Pete Carroll, but look at the state of this team. Look at the state of the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks are one of, if not the worst team. Now, yeah, you have the Jets, you have the Jaguars, you have the Falcons, the Texans. But look at this. Look at the Seahawks right now. Look at the Seahawks compared to when he first got there. When he first got there, they built up the Legion of Boom. They had Russell Wilson. They had Marshawn Lynch. They were going to back Super Bowls. That was the heyday, the early parts of the Seattle Seahawks. That was the beauty. Remember when Pete Carroll went to USC? Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush winning national championships. Just the creme de la creme of college football. You remember what USC looked like when he left? You remember that? How bad of a team and how dysfunctional the team was when he left. Do you remember that? The Legion of Boom. Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, one of the best offensive lines in the league. Jermaine Kearse, Tyler Lockett. They had a who's the dude that was fighting Jalen Ramsey? His face is I see his face. That was when he was good at the wide receiver position. Forgot his name. It's gonna come back to me, and I'm just gonna say it like blurt it out, and then like that's his name. Why is his name? His name escaped me. But look at that team, man. Now, look at the Seattle Seahawks now. One of the worst offensive lines, if not the worst offensive line in the league. One of the worst defenses in the league, even with Jamal Adams, which they grossly overpaid. Yeah, you have DK Metcalf. Yeah, you still have Tyler Lockett, but who do you have throwing him the ball? Your starting quarterback is Drew Lock, who Drew Lock's best game, his crowning achievement, was lip syncing Young Jeezy on the sidelines. Then you have Geno Smith, whose crowning achievement was playing one of the best games he can ever play last year. And I think they still lost that game. Geno Smith hasn't been really relevant since West Virginia. So what I'm saying is this, man. If you read the report, ESPN did a really good job on it. If you read the report, this breakup was years in the making. The breakup between Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. And it's just yet another cabinet file or yet another folder that you can put in the Pete Carroll tenured. And they all usually go the same way. Incredible high when you start. Then it just starts to decline. Then when you get to the bottom, it's the bottom. Who would have thought a team just 3-4 years ago was in the Super Bowl? Now you look at the team, they're one of, if not the worst team in the league.